The Grand Opera House opened its doors on August 9, 1883, with a production of the opera The Bohemian Girl. William Waters, a local architect, had designed the new opera house. Although the official capacity of the new theater was 921, jump seats, which folded out from the walls at the ends of the seating rows, brought the total possible seating capacity to 1,224. By comparison, taking into account today's fire and safety regulations, the capacity is now 550. Let's put 1883 into perspective. The original Grand was built without electricity, without bathrooms. Gas lights and outhouses were the norm of the day. In 1883, 38 stars adorned the flag. Chester Arthur was President of the United States. The Eiffel Tower had not yet been built. Coca-Cola was yet to be invented. The Washington Monument was half finished, and the other big architectural achievement of the day was the opening of the Brooklyn Bridge. The new theater attracted acts from around the country, from opera, musicals, touring stars, and in the 1920s, vaudeville. Harry Blackstone, Samuel Clemens as Mark Twain, Harry Houdini, Sarah Bernhardt, Enrico Caruso, Maude Adams, John Philip Sousa, and Adelaide Moore were among the performers who performed at the Grand Opera House. In 1918, the Opera House was purchased, and in the late 1920s, the theater was closed for several months for remodeling and redecorating. Improvements included modern heating and ventilation, lighting, and plumbing systems. The Opera House, then known as the Granada, was sold again in 1948. It was renamed the Civic Theater and was primarily a motion picture house. By 1950, the building was renamed again and known as the Grand Theater. In order to achieve the appearance of a modern movie theater, the building's entrance was moved from the center of the facade to the corner of Market Street and High Avenue, and nearly 8 feet of the stage was removed to make room for additional seats. By the mid-1970s, the Grand was falling into disrepair, and citizens had formed a committee titled Save the Grand. This committee had the building placed on both the state and national historic registers. The fight to save the Grand lasted 20 years and faced numerous financial, civic, and organization obstacles. Finally, in 1980, citizens requested that a referendum be offered to city residents regarding the destiny of the building. 2/3 of Oshkosh voters replied yes to the referendum question on whether the city of Oshkosh should acquire, restore, and engage in the operation of the Grand Opera House. On October 4, 1982, the marquee breaking ceremony marked the official start of the restoration project. The adjacent property at 106 High Avenue was purchased and connected to the theater. This addition provided space for restrooms, a greater lobby area, and street-level access for wheelchair access, as well as a meeting room and administrative offices on the second floor in what's now known as the Grand Lounge. The newly renovated Opera House hosted its reopening, dedication, and open house on September 27, 1986. And on October 3, 1986, the new Grand Opera House opened its doors the same way it had over a century before, with a newly staged performance of The Bohemian Girl. In 1989, the specially formed Oshkosh Opera House Foundation took over management of the Grand, leasing the building from the city in November of 1989, and it has operated the theater ever since, programming a mix of national touring acts and local presentations. In 2009, engineers discovered some structural flaws in the main roof trusses of the Opera House, and the Grand closed for emergency repair on February 27, 2009. Faced with half a performance season and no venue, the Opera House Foundation proceeded to move over 25 scheduled performances to 7 alternate venues over the next 4 months, with no cancellations. The second restoration of the Grand Opera House began in the fall of 2009. City staff and Grand Opera House staff worked side by side with the contractors and engineers. On September 16, 2010, the Grand was reopened to a gala opening night crowd as actor, singer, songwriter Jeff Daniels reopened the theater. In 2018, the most recent renovation created 100 premium suite seats in the balcony. The suite seats feature beverage service, roomier seats, and increased legroom. The Grand hosts over 100 public performances each year, including national touring artists, educational programs, performances by the Oshkosh Community Players, Oshkosh Symphony Orchestra, and hysterical productions, as well as performances by area high schools, regional arts groups, performances presented by independent promoters, business meetings, and weddings. The theater's impact is felt not only in Oshkosh, but throughout the Fox Valley.